Alright, good afternoon everybody. Today we were starting with a brand new playthrough. I don't have it all planned out what I'm going to do. We're going to play it a little bit by ear. But the primary focus is going to be on taking this determined, we'll say, Flotsom Ninja, building up a cult based entirely on gaining her more wealth and power. And not really much else. No grand goals. We're not too worried about saving women other than recruiting them to our cause. She refers to herself as the tallest and insists that all of her followers call her my tallest. If you know, you know. This is modeled after Norse Fox, but with a much larger head, just because I haven't made a goofy, silly looking Kenshi character, and it was her idea, so I'm off the hook. We start out right next to the Flotsam safe house. This is an area set up specifically by the Flotsom Ninjas for people who escape rebirth. Right now we are basically abandoning our post. We were supposed to get this set up, and instead we looted it for everything valuable we could. And we're going to set out to start recruiting people to our own cause instead. Now, we don't necessarily want to go through rebirth, but there's a lot of dangerous paths out here. So we're going to opt to take the river home. Since we're not heavy, we don't have any robotic limbs, this will actually probably be one of the fastest ways to get back to somewhere safe and civilized. Ooh, except we really stink at swimming. Yeah, maybe not. We'll just go up and around. But our first goal is going to be to try and get a little bit of quick cash and then see if we are able to. Oh, goodness. Those are some very, very angry cannibals. We're going to see if we can lure them back to Mole because I don't think we can outrun them. This is not going to be a great start if they start eating us right away. Well, we were planning on running off on our own, but we might die if we did that right this second. I'm going to drop some of the less valuable stuff that we've got. There we go. Now that we're not encumbered, we're moving. We are not even remotely equipped to deal with cannibals just yet. So the main thing we're going to be doing in this playthrough, we are going to kind of utilize just about anything we want. We're not going to stop ourselves from stealing or assassinating. We're instead going to use every dirty trick we know. We're going to get crafting set up quickly and early, and we're going to use research to make our characters much stronger than normal. And we're going to run around the world defeating people with little people, and it's going to be hilarious. Oh my gosh, why did I leave the animal mods installed? What was I thinking? Look at these things. They're just ridiculous. Oh, a Shokunen's child. An elder one. Absolutely terrifying. They can be used to get some free stealth XP, and they're pretty slow, so that's a benefit there. I don't want to get encumbered. We're just going to take this free stealth XP while we can. Ooh. They're very dangerous, though. We don't want anywhere near them, and they're not as slow as I thought they were. Oh, that's terrifying. They are definitely not as slow as I thought they were. But they did seem to lose interest the minute we went in stealth at a decent enough distance. Holy cow. I thought the run was over already. Shortest stream ever. Whew. But like I said, we're going to try and get some quick cash. We're going to use any dirty, cheap tricks we can. And we're going to get a base built really quickly. I did pick out a location for this base. We're going to go somewhere that does not have acid rain. And I think doesn't have a lot of politics going on. We shouldn't get raided by much. I'm concerned we might get raided by Reavers, but I don't think we will. We're going, well, it's Stobes Gamble, so we will be getting raided by Reavers, but I'm hoping that by the time we really get the place set up and running, we're going to start right away with turrets. We're going to make sure our science is researched enough to build a decent base before we even set out. But we do want to prioritize that heavily. We are trying to make a base very early. If I can get a base up tonight, I will. We're probably not doing much off screen with this one because everything is all stuff that's going to be fun. We're not going to do a lot of grinding. We're not going to limit how many characters we have. I did figure out that I had too many animal mods installed and some of them overwrote each other. And that's the only reason I couldn't find the dang mad bulls. They're all over the place. All of the animals are all over the place if you just don't install two different mods trying to put in animals in the same location, which should have been obvious, but here we are. And they didn't necessarily conflict, but it did make both the animals from both mods rarer because sometimes one would take hold and sometimes the other would. And while that made them somewhat compatible, my game also crashed off cooldown, and now I'm not having any issues with that. Oh no, I forgot. I am hated by the paladins. That's not good. Run away, leave me alone. I am very much hated by the paladins. I need to remember that I cannot walk free here. I'm allied with the Flotsom Ninjas. Oh, what was I thinking? I was planning on recruiting a ton of women from the Holy Nation, but they apparently know who I am, and that is not going to work. Just keep running. If we get in prison, we're going like straight to rebirth if they don't outright kill me. Oh man, why are these guys so good at running? Oh, and he landed a chop on me. Let's get some distance. Did he give up? I think he gave up. Heck yeah. Oh, leave it. She's not worth it. I'm glad you think so. Alright, we could score some food here, but it's wheat. I am never. You have to take the wheat, grind it down, and then bake it in a bread oven, and then use a separate type of food storage. Wheat is the most noob trap ass thing you could possibly make in this game. What are we getting all that XP from? Is it the Raptors or is it the Paladins? I don't think it's the Raptors. But it'll be great to get out of Auckland's Pride. So one thing we're going to have to be on the lookout for is now that I don't have the mods conflicting, the one that I kept has that extra crafting. going to be able to make some really overpowered weapons and just have a good time with it, as well as some overpowered armor, at least for some of us. The armor I don't think I'm actually going to use. I'm looking at using assassin rags and martial artist bindings and sandals with the full dexterity cyber arms and regular human legs. I believe that with maxed out dexterity, this will give me the very best attack, like combat speed you can have between that and the attack skill. And we've got some very cheap, cheesy tricks for leveling that up. Come on, can't you guys just fight the bulls? There you go. Gotta get to the hub, safe hub, man. Hopefully there are just as many female recruits outside of the Holy Nation as there were in. That's a real bummer not being able to recruit from there. I didn't even think about starting out that way. We're gonna have to get a base up quick just so recruiting isn't a nightmare. Sell off some of the stuff we looted. And now we're just gonna go hire some mercenaries and knock over a taco stand. We're just starting with crime. We're starting a cult that's entirely based on just making her rich and making her more powerful. We've already got our weeaboo run up and going, thanks to the animals we ran into and just making sure we, juiced all of that XP gain we could out of those times we were sneaking by enemies. Once we join the Shinobi Thieves, we'll have easy access to the assassin rags we want. We'll probably still have a crafter, but we'll see. I don't like doing it in the city because you kind of have to constantly monitor them, but it is the best way to get it started early, and I do not want to wait. I want crafters up and running immediately. Luckily, we got to snag some ninja rags from there. In the early game, having that giant bonus to sneak is just going to make it quicker to getting to where we're maxed out for a while. We'll switch out to assassin rags soon, though. So what we want are the heavy armor mercenaries. We don't want the little tech hunter wannabe mercenaries. We want these guys. Although, honestly, we're not going to need a weapon. We're not fighting. So we'll take both. We will take both for sure. Plus, this way, if we run into bandits on the way back, we're not going to lose every mercenary to a severe injury, hopefully. So the mods I'm using, the main one that's going to make us the most money off of this trick is pretty common. It's just the shops have more items and more money. We don't steal raw money from them. That just makes it so we actually can sell all this stuff without running across the entire map. Like, it doesn't make sense that in one day mining some copper, I can make more money than a shop owner has. Like, why would you even bother having the shop? Why would you bother paying really good guards? The economics of it just doesn't make sense. They should have a shit ton of money compared to what we can easily make in a day or two. So it looks like we didn't get in any scuffles with anyone on the way here, so that's great. Something to keep in mind is when you hire mercenaries, I do think the ones that are tech hunters can have some conflicts where if you attack an area owned by the tech hunters, they may not side with you. But any other time, as long as you get into a fight, they're going to side with you, not the other guys. So that immediately triggered a fight, and we just have to get out of there so they can deal with this. Nope, 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 nope. Passive hold. And we'll want to keep an eye on the business going on in here. Well, if we could. We just don't want to get in the middle of it, and we don't want the ninja guards getting back up. They aren't going to need their weapons anymore. I'm just using a cannibalism mod that can also double as a finishing people off mod, just because they die when you remove their meat like animals do. I'm not out of trading range. Come on now. And then the barkeep over here will first aid him. Put him in bed. And hopefully this will make it to where we can just extort him forever, but it may not work. It doesn't always work. We're not too worried about it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And we're going to swap all this out for the heavy armor. I didn't grab a set of tools. That was a mistake. I wasted a little time. I'm going to have to run back now. But as you can imagine, grabbing all of these blueprints, we're going to make a ton of money even from our first quick little run. We did manage to score high quality crab armor, which is fantastic. That's another mod that it isn't going to make me a ton of money even if I were to sell them, but I will get quite a bit of. I mean, it's just really good armor, not quite a bit of anything. Sheesh. It's just good, high quality, heavy armor. Lets you go all over the map. It's really nice to have. And if we look, we are, if anything, friendly with the trade ninjas because we healed the shop owner. So now we don't have to worry about them having a problem with us next time. It stinks we didn't bring tools, but it's not the end of the world. Oh, they're gonna. Well, crap. Yeah, we're still in the positive here. I don't think I'm going to be able to do what I wanted to do because I'd have to wait for the mercenary contract to go out, and we're just not down for that. Here we go. Put him down ahead of time. And now he won't think we're trying to kidnap him when he wakes up. He's still angry with us, though, even though we don't have a problem with the faction. So we're going to have to go to the Bugga Buggas. We'll sell to them. We're going to hold on to any science books. They're just too good and too rare. We're not going to get rid of those. And then the next thing we're after is a good backpack from the Shinobi Thieves. We're also going to want to keep an eye out for beak thing nests. We don't want to deal with it until we have our backpack, if we can avoid it. But once we have it, it's going to be fantastic. We're already getting low on hunger, so we're just going to go ahead and get some food and then move on. The main reason I chose the location I did is that it's going to allow us to build our base with the entrance coming through a long swim, which will be kind of annoying for us going in and out, but it makes it very difficult for anyone to break into your base. It's almost impossible. Okay, we can see there is a beak thing nest on the outskirts of this hive village here. We'll want to take advantage of that when we can, just not yet. With the animal mods I have on, I almost didn't come here. This is so dangerous with those pickaxe things now. It does look like that's the only local nest, so that's good. Guys, a little help here. Sheesh. What am I paying them for, huh? Waiting until I'm bopped around before they do anything. We're not going to worry about the patterns because there's nothing fancy about any of these patterns. We can get all the patterns we need later. We just want a nice influx of cash. Oh man, our mercenaries are getting chopped up anyway. I wish these guys sold backpacks. That would be incredibly convenient. We're going to go ahead and sell all the swords because they'll recognize that we have a sword that doesn't belong to us if we go talk to those guys running that shop in the hub, and we just don't want any trouble. Nothing we got is actually stolen from the guards, so they won't notice it. So we've got our money, got a tiny bit of food. I wanted to make it out of here with our mercenaries, but that is not happening. I don't know if you can see what the fuck is going on over here, but oh man, they are definitely going to get eaten. They could maybe handle that many beak things, maybe, but they're not handling this guy. The pickaxe things that this mod added are absolutely brutal. Alright, cover of darkness is probably my best bet to get out of here. Where's the actual nest? Looks like it's over this way. Not very many eggs. Probably not worth the risk. Because we're going to get a lot more loot. Like, way more loot. We're going to ditch this heavy armor. We're going to get some light armor and a backpack. But we'll need the heavy armor for stat training later. That's what's going to allow us to toughness train really early, really easy without getting stomped. And we didn't have to pay the crazy 10,000, 15,000 cats to buy it all. Oh, man. I'm over here chatting, and now the bandits have caught up to us. Luckily, we've got this heavy armor, so they weren't going to do much damage to us. Our contract with the Mercenary Guild has ended. Yeah, because they're fucking dead. Well, at least the heavy armor kept us from dying from that beatdown. That's always nice. One of the big challenges I'm going to have is the plan for this playthrough is to lose our arms and not our legs. So, one, we're going to have to build up our toughness so we don't randomly just lose limbs anyway. But two, we're going to need to find a way to get our arms damaged but not our legs before we tuck people into the surgical bench. So it was a little risky at the start, just getting that stuff sold so that we can buy a backpack and whatnot, but we got it done. We'll get over here, get healed up, stash this stuff in a little hut, and then it is off to Squin for our backpack. We got to stay out of the Holy Nation area, so we have to do our recruiting elsewhere too. We may have to set up our temporary base in Squin, but I'd like to do it somewhere closer to our new home. Maybe we could set up in Flats Lagoon. That would be good. Do our research there, get a little bit more money going. We'll also be pretty close to Flats Lagoon. So if we want to make money, you know what we can do. You know what we can do. Especially once we get hydroponics and we don't have to worry about what kind of farming situation is out there. That'll be amazing. He doesn't have the helmet we want. That's kind of a bummer. But we'll get healed up. We'll ditch this stuff. And then we'll make our way over to get a good backpack. I don't think I've ever seen this place with the door open before. Normally it's closed. We can't do much else with this place, but it'll let us stash this heavy armor that we stole for a little bit. So we can move around faster. Yeah, we definitely want to join the Shinobi Thieves. Where's the guy selling all the loot? Gotta be around here somewhere, right? There's our assassin rags we wanted. The swamp ninja mask is really good. We're blowing through some serious cash right now, but it's not going to be a problem. And we're not going to do any fighting anytime soon, so we're not going to sweat that either. Alright, so Squin's going to have a really good backpack for us. That'll just make it more convenient to transport our loot. And then we'll hit the way station down here as well to get some tools, because I don't think they're going to sell them here. Yeah, I don't see the tools we want, so we'll hit the way station again. A lot of times I'd be looking to grab the mercenaries and go get those beak thing eggs, but we're going to get a bigger return on our investment looting that shop. Looks like we got a weird mirage going on over here. Buy some grub. Buy some tools. We can just go train some lockpicking if we really wanted to, but that's kind of boring. So we'll get down to that at some point maybe, but not right now, not on this playthrough. We'll work on that some other time. And then the very next thing we need to look at is recruiting. Honestly, we're here. Let's do some recruiting right now. I need a crafter. You, Jaglonger, seem like you would love to be a crafter. And then if you notice, she just so happens to only recruit people that are shorter than she is. And they all have to dye their hair red. It's part of being in a cult, okay? You gotta conform. It's just the way it is. We'll grab her, a little bit of food. And then we'll head back to Squin. While I'm busy looting, we will get our first crafter already up and running. Now, the armor crafting isn't going to be super important. That's going to be like a convenience thing. So we may not even have more than one crafter. We're going to have her start working on making basic weapons as soon as possible. Gonna need 15 building materials at least, 3 more to make a bench, 1 for a food store. Then we're gonna need iron plates for sure. And we're gonna need a bunch of books. That should at least get her started. She can do the research herself while she's waiting for my tallest to come back. Alright, so I was gonna set up in Flats Lagoon, but we've got enough going on. It'll just be better to get her started. So the main thing is gonna be smithing, basic weapons, weapon grades, clothing manufacture, storage boxes. There we go. That should get her started. And my tallest can go make us some more money. We are looking at only recruiting human females. It just wouldn't be a cult if you didn't have some conformity, you know? Not being able to recruit from the Holy Nation was a slight backfire, but we'll see if we can get around that. So we did leave the guard alive here, but it looks like I was right. If you actually fully stomp them out, the event, they just leave. Like, basically it's treated like you wiped it out, even though we healed him up and got him back on his feet. It just, he despawns. So the trick to it is to never actually hit the guard. You want to do this solo, not with mercenaries, and just kind of whittle down the guards with a bow and running away like a chicken, and never actually hit the bar guard. Then you leave and come back. The guard, or sorry, never actually hit the bartender. You leave, come back, and he'll still be there, and the guards won't. And then you just block when he attacks you until he like kicks his leg down to where he falls down. You never want him to actually get knocked out. And then you just patch him up and lockpick and do what you got to do. Take whatever stuff you want to take. He'll be annoying about it. You'll have to deal with him to do it, but you'll be able to. I was able to basically act like I was running a racket, just giving him, making him pay protection money by letting me take his stuff if he didn't want to get chop sueyed. And now our next recruit is going to be our main recruit. It's going to be the person that we do most of our sneaking and running around and setting up with. We're not going to risk the cult leader uh, getting busy work done. Man, getting the safe open's taking a minute. But once we get it cut open, we're going to have so much loot. All right. So now the question I have to figure out is, do I want to use the foreign saber or the Nodachi? The Nodachi is longer reaching and would look more comical, but I think the foreign saber is going to actually be better for what we're doing. So we're gonna go with foreign sabers this playthrough. Get our weaponsmith set up here. And I think, yeah, we can do that. This will be a good spot. Probably won't need more than that. And then storage for iron plates. Okay, so it looks like we'll get to try out the foreign saber and see how it feels too. That's cool. Gonna take all of these books for the low price of nothing 99. Did we? We didn't score a good helmet. That's unfortunate. Oh wow, we're running out of room for books. Um, we can ditch a set of those because I want all of the books. I'm not messing around with that. So one of the big upsides with the foreign saber, although it gives you that minus to attack, it also gives you a high defense bonus, and it doesn't have any actual like damage reduction against armor or against animals or robots. So you don't have that negative impact on your damage, but it's also not going to be as big and wide of a swing as a Nodachi. Now, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, he'll absolutely buy those, even though he stole it from his buddy. Just double check there's nothing in here we actually want. Yeah, we already know foreign sabers. We'll keep the advanced outpost blueprints. That's going to save us a lot of research books. Desert sabers. That's what these are, right? Yeah, we don't care about those. Okay. We're still really encumbered. We might want to take the books back in a few different runs. But we made a bunch of money off of that, as you can see. So we'll have to see how this little run of ours turns out. It might go really badly, and we may regret this. It might turn out just fine. We'll see. We do have everything packed into our backpack pretty much. So if things go too far sideways, we can just drop the pack and run, at least temporarily. That'll save us a little bit of hassle. Looks like we made it over here without too much trouble. We'll get to drop this off with Jaglonger. Let her get that research bench updated and then get to crafting. Let's see. We already researched tech level 2. I think I move this here. And yeah, we will just trade backpacks. That'll keep it simple. Dismantle that. Oh, come on. And then what we're going to do is go do our recruiting before we worry about doing more research. We'll get straight into crafting. That'll getting in on it this early is going to be a big deal. Our light armor being crafted up to masterwork isn't going to matter much, but having good weapons early is. So that's going to be the primary focus. Oh, apparently I sold the Form Saber instead of learning it. That's annoying. Well, that cut into my profits a little bit, but not the end of the world. And then we're going to need a light all around this crafting station too. We'll check the way station, see if there was another female recruit there. I wouldn't hate getting my crafters going in general in Squin, like buying another building, since it's only going to take fabric for the armor crafter and it's only going to take iron for the weapon crafter while they're still training. And it would be really great if we could get 2 Scorchlander females to get that crafting done. So we technically need 2 more recruits before we really can push forward, because I don't want my tallest going anywhere dangerous. We got a drunk bar thug. We're just looking for human female ladies. That's what Beep likes, you know, human female ladies. That's what we're after. No way. Gurgle. Oh, ninja drifters. Okay. So Gurgle we can talk to though. Yeah, let's go. Import my tallest. And then what was it? Leg length, I think we changed. Yeah. And then head shape. So we will export this as Shorty and then change this back to Gurgle. We're not going to change her name. No matter how tempting it is to be immature and change it slightly. I like to make sure everybody's equipped. At least has some food and has the ability to heal themselves. It's important. Oh yeah, we're also going to need to research a little bit of power. Get some kind of power going. Because Squin loses power sometimes. And we don't want to sit and have them idle. We want to get them going. So obviously we're not getting the base done tonight. I was way ahead of myself. But we can get our crafters started, which is sweet. Can we fit? Oh yeah, we can fit a clothing bench in here. Go ahead and buy that other building. And then we're going to hit the hub. I believe there's one more female recruit we can get going. I'm going to take building material. Okay. There's another gurgle, but that's a male shack. We're looking for the female human ladies. See if they've got any recruits here. There we go. Cat. Cat'll work. We wouldn't have minded more Scorched Landers, but we won't mind Greenlanders either. But Cat had a lighter skin tone. Size. There we go. Cat is ready to help my tallest. Not much point in having her do the clothing bench just yet. We'll have my tallest do the cooking when she gets back. We can probably cut that off for now. I'm gonna need more building materials, it looks like. Oh, we're out of iron plates too? No way. Okay. Not a problem. And then we're gonna need electrical crafting. I think we already did that. We have not done electricals. I guess that's research 3. But we'll have that soon. We need to have her trade with Cat. Cat's gonna be the one out doing the dangerous stuff and needs the stealth gear. I'll have to get her trained up too. We're already getting a little low on funds, so we're and carry weight. Yikes. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade that. And we'll just want to keep an eye on these crafters while we do more recruiting. Try to keep them working. It's not crucial that we keep them working forever. Getting them started this early is not only going to make us a ton of money from the bandanas and maybe lose a little from the swords, but it'll also give us some weapons and a consistent way to have everyone using the same weapon type at least. We are going to stick to the crossbow turrets until we've got a little bit more advanced stuff going on. We're going to need one more ancient science book to do the next level. Oh, we're out of power, so we can't continue researching. Ain't that a pain? So that's kind of the deal here is we're going to have Cat go out, earn us more money, use some of the weapons we've got. What do we got here? Rusted junk. Absolute garbage. Uh Basic weapon grades 2 and 3. Advanced weaponsmithing. Leather armor. Yeah, we're still going to need a lot more books and a lot more money. Cat's at least got the sandals here. We'll have her go and loot and see what she could find left over at that bar that we looted. But basically, as soon as we get batteries and battery power, all the battery things, we'll build a little power supply depot at the front of the city. That's why we bought this building. With Kat, we could probably do some lockpick training. She'll be our first person we get to strength train to be able to carry heavy stuff as well. Alright, we did not get super lucky where everything just refreshed, but we did get a lot of books. We are going to be able to leave with a lot of food. Oh, we'll need a stacking backpack for that. We're not going to do that. Yeah, we need to buy her another backpack, not just this one. But this is going to be a great way to stack up a ton of money. We'll just continue finishing to loot that place. That'll hopefully give us everything we need to keep these guys busy, because it requires a lot of iron to keep this place busy. Ooh, I spent us out of money already. That's okay though, Cat's about to hook us up. We'll bring this heavy armor with us. Keep it stored with us. We've gotten lucky and there aren't a ton of bandit spawns on the road. Hopefully that luck will hold up. Oh, we need to sell that other crossbow. We're not going to be doing any crossbow shenanigans this playthrough just because I want to try the ultra high dexterity foreign sabers. See how good that feels. I'm not even sure we're going to need wind generators just because these batteries will fill up and hold a charge. Hopefully that will be enough. Cat's going to return all these books down here. We're going to need more ancient science books, and we'll get to that. But getting these books stored, getting a general storage to put this armor in, the armor is going to be clutch. When we go to do toughness training, you got to have some kind of heavy armor, and it's going to help a lot. Oh no. I wish they'd have let us talk to them. We would have hooked them up with some food and some money. They didn't have to be like this. You guys are dirt bags. Beating the crap out of Cat. See how he went from like no toughness to 10 though? That's the biggest deal right there. I'm kind of surprised it didn't let me talk to them. A lot of times I'll get an option to talk to them, but I must have ran past them once or twice already with someone else. Sucks that Cat got whooped that bad, but she'll be able to heal pretty quickly and get back into it. We're gonna get her healed up before we even bother trying to walk that way. Is that all I wanted to sell? I think it was. How is the crafting going on these? What? No, come over here. Are they all built? No, we need 4 electrical components. Okay. I'm betting we don't have those. Nope, we do. It's just that sometimes the ones on the end can't really get completed for some reason. Get a boatload of books going there. Looks like Kat wanted to do that engineering, but she's not sure how. We'll go get her right up next to it. So if you actually look, our battery charge should be so high that this will just work. No, what are you doing? Build it. I'm so confused. We've got so much battery capacity though now that we may not even need to worry about getting wind generators. Oh no. I burned through all our cash before I got myself something better. Rusted blade. We'll go sell some of this junk. That'll at least get us a backpack, I think. Oh yeah. Nice. We're gonna make some money off of that too, I think. Alright, and now we just need some more tech books. Turn off her jobs. We'll go get some ancient science books after we make one more looting run. Let Gurgle grab herself some supplies. Having these crafters going early, it cannot be overstated how important it is. It's going to be a little obnoxious trying to sell stuff because it doesn't always work selling directly. And it's a pain in the butt keeping enough stuff purchased for them. But it really is great. As soon as you go to your base, they're crafting you really good armor and weapons. Maybe even before we do that. But we're already going to have tier 2 walls and crossbow turrets for defense. We might even get way better than that depending on what I can loot. So the plan is to get Kat to where she can go and snag all of the science we need before we head out. And that'll just allow us to basically start our base with a pretty decent technology rating. We'll just already have really high technology and be able to make the most of it. I'm also going to leave these electrical components here. We can scoop these up on the way to making our base. And we'll definitely snag any free food. Being able to sell it directly to the hub because we use those mercenaries. That is the only reason. Because the mercenaries did all the dirty work. We didn't do a single point of damage to them, even though we did finish them off. They were all knocked out for that. We basically just didn't get blamed for it, and we just got away with it scot-free, especially healing up that guy after we were done. And you can see just by making another loot, like another 20,000 cats. Well, maybe around 10. Most of these gone now. I'm really going to see a lot more there. But we've still got uses for that building. It's not done yet. We've still got some stuff we can use that building for, which is great. We are going to want to be careful. While we do have a little more toughness now, we're still not wearing heavy armor and don't want to be. But those hungry bandits might be back here. Okay, so it does look like we're going to want more batteries if we want to make it through the whole night. So that's something to take into consideration here. We're not going to make it the entire night with this setup. We aren't going to have any extra wind at night, so it doesn't really matter. It really comes down to, do we overproduce during the day? Then all we need is batteries. So we'll just keep going with the battery bank. And now the other fun thing that's going to come into play is we're going to need another source of income. That was a nice quick influx of cash. But if our crafters take a net loss until they get up higher, we're going to need a source of income. We don't want to really set up mining operations, but we can if we have to. We are missing electricals and iron plates. Sheesh. We are going to have a nice food surplus, which is great. We're buying the really cheap raw meat and then cooking it ourselves, and that saves us a lot of money. As soon as the stores open up, we'll buy more. Let's see, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 times 4. That is a lot. Sheesh. That is 48. And then 24 iron plates. That's. Well, that ain't gonna do it. Need all but those two. And then iron plates galore. And we're already running broke. Sheesh. Did I drop my bag? Alright, let's go see what we can sell. No, it didn't work. Tragedy. Sheesh. It's always a hassle trying to figure out exactly what it's going to take to get this to work. Ugh. Please just let me sell direct. I don't want to pile it into my bags. No. Alright, I give up. And then see, now it's working, maybe? Nope, no, it's not. Oi. And then there it worked perfectly. Who knows? We just take the win and get this stuff sold. It's not going to sell for much yet, but it will just keep getting better and better. This will at least recoup some of our money. I would honestly love it if there was like an indoor item furnace or just some way to trash this stuff. At least at the start when it's making you like nothing back. Well, I guess at the rate we're crafting them, it's making us something always. There's, we have all these weapons that are really low quality. We're actually making a lot of money off of those foreign sabers. That's excellent. I love to see it. Cool. So we're pulling ahead on money because of the swords, which is crazy. I didn't think that was a thing. I kind of got most of my crafting for money stuff from Frankie was here, and what I took away was that bandanas were some of the best, and maybe in the long term that's the case. But it looks like crafting lower quality foreign sabers by only using iron plates is going to work just fine as well. Oh, geez. We're going to take her off engineering for now just so we can purchase these materials. And then we will turn jobs off. Go make sure that we get these electricals built up. Hmm. It looks like we built everything but the very last one, like usual. Well, having a surplus of them isn't the end of the world. But the batteries, that's what's going to make the biggest difference in whether we make it through the night without power or not. I am curious if it's going to be enough. Doesn't quite look like it, but maybe once we get some better electrical efficiency. So it's kind of a bummer she can't make anything better. I think what we get is mid-grade salvage is the best we can get, which kind of sucks because it would be great to see an actual good weapon being made here, but doesn't look like we have that option. But on the plus side, these things are worth 1,000 cats apiece, and we're making a bunch of them really fast. It does appear that we worked all the way through the night, which is fantastic. That's what we want. Yeah, it does seem like we make pretty good money off of those. That's awesome. Now, I don't want to just sit here refilling stuff. Oh, come on. Don't. Okay, it did. It sold it direct. I love it. We'll get Cat on to other money making methods. But this is pretty fantastic for our first day. We're going to have 2 crafters set up and running. We're making money. We have plenty of food. And then we're going to send Cat basically out to hunt down science and expensive loot. But it's time to wrap up. It's a little after 7:30. Is usually when I close up the stream on this day. If you guys enjoyed it, go ahead and subscribe. That'll let you know when I go live. I'm basically going to be streaming every afternoon slash evening, Monday through Friday. We usually play through a full playthrough series. I've got a ton of them that you can go and rewatch. Everything from almost a solo playthrough to an unmodded playthrough. We've kind of done a lot already. Everything from playing as the Holy Nation to just a group of adventurers to beast tamers. So there's a lot of cool stuff to check out. Again, I hope you enjoyed it. This is Casually Dedicated, and